the sound is actually at reasonable levels, right? I'm just getting my two-factor key. All right. Hey, Nessos. Glad to see you here. So, RimWorld 1.1 just dropped, which was a bit of a surprise to me, to be honest. That is, I knew something was coming because I looked on the Steam DB at some point. It's like the metadata info about Steam stuff, and I noticed that there was a depot for something called RimWorld Merrymaker that is still there, by the way, and listed as a DLC. So I'm pretty sure there's more coming. But yeah, so something was happening, and there was a lot of activity on that, and like quick pushes, and then an external view depot appeared, which is like, okay, that's probably a press release or something. So something is still going to happen, but I didn't expect it all to happen this quickly and without any notice, because in the past some of the modders actually got a little bit of notice to start updating their mods, but that was not the case this time. So we had no idea, we have had no input, and apparently there's also a couple of problems with it already again. So, but we're gonna have fun figuring it out. Yeah. Hey, Murtsoft. And yeah, that was actually coordinated. I talked with Brains. Brains actually had some input on this, and apparently Tynan actually reached out to Brains to do the release together. So Brains actually had to work really hard trying to get everything ready. At least that's what he said. So, and Brains also did, like, he had when he released Harmony 2.0, there was like a cryptic note saying that community should coordinate like a mass move towards Harmony 2.0. And I was just thinking, like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. It is like, no, just no. But this is a pretty good way to do it. Let's just like force everybody to update their mods anyway, and then yeah, you might as well update your dependencies. Brains is actually he's some kind of IT bigwig in the Swedish police, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know exactly what he is, but he's at least like a developer there, and I think he's like a senior or a supervisor or something. I don't know. Hey, Erdo. Yeah, it always amazes me that the kind of people that are actually doing like the modding and stuff. It's like, wow. Shouldn't you have something better to do? But apparently not. Thank you for the follow, Baroth. Anyway, I wanted to get the release note up, which apparently is harder for me than I thought. So this is how I usually get to the workshop. Just go through my mod. I guess this will be in news. Right, so most of you already watched most of this, so let's just go through it quickly. So 1.1 is out. We're now using, does it say in here at all? I don't think so. We're now using .NET 4.7.2, which, yeah, well, I'm starting, like, I have less than 50 followers. I mean, that, you mean something to me. Oh, that sounds so trapped. It's true. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I always get confused between what is C# and like what is the language and what is the implementation. Right. Okay, that makes sense now. So I mean, you have the C# is the language, and then .NET is one implementation. It's like the main implementation. It's Microsoft implementation, but you also have Mongo. So yeah, it always confused me to no end. But now we're using a more recent version of Unity, which is using .NET 4.72, which again makes no sense to me because Unity uses Mongo, right? Or I'm saying Mongo. What's it called? Mono. But I guess that corresponds to C#7, which corresponds to the current mono release. I have no idea. Thanks for the follow, Joshua XM? Joshua SXM? Joshua XM? Thanks. Okay. So yeah, there's a bunch of changes. Moving to a new version of Harmony, or of Harmony and Unity. So all of the Harmony patches needs to be changed. All of the Unity API is now split up over 62 different DLLs, or libraries. So you need to know which one to use at any given point, or just import them all, I guess. We're going to have to support 1.0 and 1.1, I guess, at least for a little bit, which I absolutely hate doing, but I will at least have a look at trying to implement that. And there's probably going to be a bunch of just random renames in the code and stuff, because there always is. I mean, why wouldn't you just rename half of your public-facing API? That's, I mean, you can. You might as well do it. Also some good stuff in here, I guess. Lots of new features. The mod, this thing, like you have a package ID, so actually something that is unique to a mod, which is, yeah, that should have been there ages ago. The like give some load order hints, dependencies, incompatibilities. This is literally what my manifest did. This is like mod manager. Oh yeah, St. Maarten. Okay. That's cool. You know the Dutch part or the French part? Yeah, I haven't actually looked at it. We should probably do that first. I haven't actually even opened RimWorld yet. Yeah, I've had some people complaining already that it's not quite the same. All right. Well, welcome, Winston, bij de stream. And that's funny. I'm Dutch. I've never met somebody from St. Maarten before. I guess there aren't that many of you. So. Anyway. Yeah, so I guess what they've done is basically keep the old mod interface and just slap some new stuff on it. The old interface was fairly terrible. It'll be fine. That's what I was probably. I mean, Combat Extended was released for what, 5 minutes before the update happened? Fun. What is this? Yeah, that's hospitality turning itself off and then the tutorial flipping out about it. Steam is not running. That is clearly a lie. And this is still 1.0. Bugger. I would have expected that to have happened already. I normally have Steam enabled and running in the background and doing its thing, but apparently not tonight. That's annoying. Alright, I'll make sure I'll try and force it to update, which I think should be possible. It's validating. Can you just update? Are you on the correct version now? I need to put you on stable, obviously. Oh. Right. That shouldn't take ages. From what I can see, they're mostly minor tweaks and like fixes to some what do you call it? Like speed, like efficiency, make things run faster. I probably shouldn't download stuff on Steam when I'm trying to stream. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, it's using what's it called? Torrents. So it just throttles the entire connection full. Anyway, it seems to be fine now. Twitch is telling me I have an excellent connection. So yeah, performance optimization. So hopefully that shouldn't make too much of an impact on what my mods are actually doing. But yeah, there's going to be loads of small stuff, so we'll have to figure it out as we go. Let's have a quick look at the actual game. You should be on unstable now. All right. There's a lot more people playing it again suddenly. It's certainly a spike for activity. Some mods may stop working. That's the understatement of the year. Yeah. Alright, fair enough. Let me just make this a little bit smaller so I can move it to one side. I actually played the game a tiny little bit yesterday, which is like the first time in months that I actually played it. So it was on full screen mode again. Let's look at the mod interface. Yeah, that's the old one. Ooh, Core's got a star now, which is like what? Like a 10 by 10 pixel resolution or something? That looks terrible. Like all of these icons look like they're from different sources and qualities and styles and oh my god. Yeah. I'm interested in how well that auto sort is going to work. I looked at that and I thought about it and I decided against it. Simply because I think it's going to give a false sense of security. Like it's just not going to work very well anyway. But yeah. Maybe he's done it better than I have. Quite a few mods have already updated. That's fairly impressive. Huh. And I'm guessing that ID is only there if you're using the dev version. Yeah, I guess it is all Spoon and Brains. Well, Hati is also upgraded. Well, good for her. Am I not using any of other of Brains and stuff? Like I have Camera Plus and stuff installed, don't I? And it's still this annoying fade out search. Yes, that makes sense for your loaded mod list, but not for the other one. Nah. Alright. Updating my mod manager is going to be a bigger project because I kind of want to, but we need to rip out the manifests basically because they're or like have a side-by-side system. Everybody uses mod manager. So we really want to update mod manager? You're gonna make me start with the hardest one? The one where I have to make the most changes? Really? Like alright, alright. I thought I could just like do a couple of easy ones quickly. Get into it. But no. Why not dive right in? Yeah. Because that's generally not how you do things. Alright. Ah, for fuck's sake. Am I finally going to have to like use the new translation system where I have to use like a named string argument for something for everything? Alright, goody. Yeah, first things first. The we're using .NET 4.7.2, which means that we need to upgrade our framework. So that one. When project be closed and then reopened. Sure, let's give it a shot, see what happens. Well, that was remarkably painless. And we need to do the same thing for this one. So yeah, I actually have, like, no, that was the wrong one. 4.7.2. Yeah. So I started like taking out some of my UI stuff, and I made like a grid extension to do. Yeah, let's just go. None of these exist anymore because you now have to like do separate imports. Oh gosh. Yeah, I wanted to like centralize some of my UI code so I wouldn't have to replicate it for every single mod I do. So that's why this is a separate project, and I think it's even in a whole separate folder. But it needs to be updated for. Yeah, I guess that's Unity trying to be modular for some reason. Yeah. Yep. Right, first of all, let's take Harmony out. So we don't want Harmony anymore. Do we use Harmony here? No. We might as well take Unity out because we're not going to take Unity anymore. And add all of these references. So what I used to have, which I would like to do again, but it's going to be slightly more tricky now. Yeah, I mean, that's why nobody has like these ginormous Electron apps that have like 100 megabytes of disk space and a gig of RAM just to deliver a simple. I don't understand like why certain projects go in completely different directions. Like, why does Unity care about build sites when other people are like pushing the most unoptimized shit ever, like the whole of Electron and all of the Discord and like all of these chat apps, Discord, what's the other one called again? Like the original one, Slack, on the WhatsApp Messenger, and lots of different other stuff, GitHub app, and lots of like these modern apps are actually just like web interfaces with Electron running underneath them, which is the most unoptimized shit ever. But Unity cares about its build size. Yeah, why isn't there like a unity.index or something that just references everything again? Anyway, what I used to have is just a folder with symlinks to the game and all the assemblies, but because this is Windows, I have to do that manually. Wait, people are making games for the... Yeah, of course they are. Why not? I do love my Raspberry Pi as well, but that's mostly just to tinker around with code and like doing some home automation and shit. I don't play games on it. It's ridiculous. Right. Right, that's the wrong folder. This one. So we now have... Was that always there? Yeah, that was always there, right? Yeah, that's just the normal. Place mods here. Oh, no shit, Sherlock. Where did you find the place official? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, core is now data, not a mod. Interesting. I'm willing to bet that this is internally just another mod folder. Like I can probably just put any mod in there, right? Like what happens if I... Does my mod now get a star and get treated as like official DLC? Oh, stop doing that. Stop trying to maximize yourself. Yeah! Awesome. Yeah, that was predictable. Anyway, mono bleeding edge. No, that's not RimWorld. Managed. Right, this is all of the different modules. So if we want to be modular and reduce build size, why do we have all of these modules in here? Like a wind module and a video module and the hell is a vehicles module? I saw physics somewhere. I mean, it'd be interesting, like do a full physics engine in a mod on top of RimWorld. Sure, why not? Yeah, this is going to be for DLC. I'm pretty sure about that. If you go to SteamDB, and you can look at the depots for any game, which is just like the apps on Steam and things. So there's a couple of things already listed as DLC. Those are like the name and game things. So the what was it? Kickstarter, Patreon, backers, whatever. The backer stuff. And there's something new. Yeah, probably Wolf. FX Wolf. Yeah. So it's codenamed Merrymaker, and I don't know. I looked around, dug around a little bit earlier, and you can see that they were. Ooh, this is new. Interesting. Hadn't seen that one before. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so you can look around there, you can see a bunch of stuff that has already been uploaded. You can also see like this external show that's been updated together with the locked development branch, which makes me think that this is like a press release, something, press build. Anyway, so yeah, there's definitely a DLC coming, and judging by the timed release of 1.1 and like this stuff existing, I would say it's going to be soon. Because there's also, like, Adolf has been digging around in the code, and there's a lot of new stuff that is not in the patch notes. So yeah, yeah, I haven't looked at the source code yet, but I mean, like, if royalty, yeah. And I mean, the thing on SteamDB also being called royalty, then there's probably a royalty thing coming, which would be fun. I've been, like, one of my pet goals for a long time has been to implement more and more of Dwarf Fortress in RimWorld. So I still want to do, like, what I really want to do still is a crime and punishment mod, where if your pawn goes on a tantrum and breaks some shit, which means that the entire colony dies because, like, he broke the only cooking machine or whatever, there's that crucial bit that your colony needed to survive, which always happens, then you can at least come back and say, like, okay, you caused the death of our colony, and for that we will punish you. Like, we will put you in jail, or I don't know, probably find more medieval ways of punishment. But I mean, there's so many fun things that you could do with it, like all the tantrums and stuff. And like, if you accidentally hurt something or someone, you should be able to get that stuff from the damage devs and from the code of applying damage, like who did it. And then you can also have like a moral layer on top of that, where, for example, psychology has these elections where like the leaders have like their programs and they say like, okay, we need to be more firm and whatever, but it doesn't actually mean anything. But you could do that with where they actually have like a moral level on top of it, where they say you can outlaw the death punishment, or you can like go full Sharia law and chop off arms and legs if you do something wrong. I mean, there's lots of cool stuff there that you could be doing, and the role playing that you could do with colonies that are just truly atrocious or very forgiving or whatever. So yeah, I still want to do that. So I think a royalty system is going to be nice for that kind of thing, because it would allow more of this kind of pawns with roles and things going on. But again, I really haven't looked at it very much yet. Adolf is telling me to check a link. Yeah, that was. I didn't notice that this obsolete thing was there actually. I mean, I've been. This was a problem with Mod Manager because it broke Mod Manager for a little bit. It was like a breaking change without a version update. And yeah, this is the stuff that Erdov has been digging up. But yeah. Alright. I guess what am I going to do? I'm going to make a symlink to this managed folder, and then I'll just have the whole thing. That makes more sense anyway, because I shouldn't need to. So I've got a little plugin that gives me the right-click syntax menu symlink options, which is really nice, because they normally don't exist. I have too many hobby projects. Where are my mods? There we go. I should be able to just drop that here as, oh gosh. Here we go. No idea. Symbolic link? That seems likely. Do I want to delete this? No, I don't. Let's just call this managed, and we can go from that. Yeah, I forgot what it's called, Gus, but that could very well be it. It's a very simple thing that just allows you to quickly make symlinks, which are the most useful thing ever, but Windows doesn't really have them for some reason. So we should now be able to go into managed, and there we go. So let's pick up the new version of this. And I guess every single damn Unity engine, because we can. All right, I need to remove this one as well. Because that's the game, and it won't let me add a new version of it, which is fair enough. At least I can mass add these. I mean, there is a single Unity engine one. Is that just not doing them all? Oh, doesn't hurt, I guess. And we're down to 22 errors in the UI. And wait, is that 22 errors overall? No. Okay. Mod manager, let's do this as well. We have to get rid of that one and that one. The first pass one is what is hiding the Steam API. So if you ever want to interact with the Steam API, you have to include first pass. No idea why. There's also the NuGet package, but it seems most modders prefer the actual source. There's a Unity NuGet package. Is that what you mean, Klaus? Because if there is, I honestly wasn't aware of it. I think this is a NuGet package as well. I shouldn't have double clicked on that. Okay, that's apparently caused the assembly explorer to die on itself. Interesting. I've never really looked at trying to make a NuGet package. So I didn't know this was actually a thing. Huh, interesting. So what is actually in here? Can I see that? Oh, that's just I guess I don't know enough about C# to know what that means. Only metadata to allow for compilation. Okay. Interesting. I guess I would prefer this one then, because I actually have what's it called? Resharper and like the Resharper decompiler, so I can actually decompile things in like in Visual Studio, which I don't use very often because it's not great, but it works more or less. I still don't believe there's only 30 errors. This is a lie. I think I need to restart Visual Studio, or at least the Assembly Explorer. Maybe that'll do. Gosh. Other windows? I am not seeing it. Was it the Solution Explorer? No, I've still got that one. I seem to have lost it. Interesting. Okay. Alright, let's just restart it, hope it comes back. Sure. Nope. It hasn't come back. This is one of those things that just... That's just gonna happen to me during a stream. I'm going to lose one of these windows and not be able to find it again. This is stupid. that's not it. Okay, am I actually going to have to Google this? I'm not seeing it. Got Solution Explorer, Server Explorer, a bunch of explorers there, but not that explorer. The Assembly Explorer, I made it go away. I don't know why I needed it. It's in here. It's a Solution Explorer, isn't it? Am I just an idiot? I think I'm just an idiot. Probably just an idiot. Because this is what I was looking for, I think. A lot of these are not here anymore. I added way more. Didn't I? Pretty sure I did. What I was trying to do is see if I could find that one, but that's not how it works, because you have to do it with manage NuGet packages. Because this YAML is what I use for exporting stuff, and I'm pretty sure I need to update that, probably. So this is what I used to use, and we're now actually at 8. But that doesn't tell me which C# version it's using. Should I just trust that it only shows me things that will work with my current C#? Or .NET or whatever? We will find out. We also need to get a Harmony. That one. And there's already a 2.0.0.1. And install that. Right. We need to copy local of that, we need to copy local of that, we need to copy local of that. We do not want to copy local of all of these. Because this is always going to lead to fun times when you accidentally copy all of these DLLs to your mod, and then RimWorld tries to load RimWorld again. And then does everything double, and it just doesn't go well, generally speaking. I'm pretty sure it's just not imported a bunch of Unity modules, but let's find out later. Have I removed the original? Yes, I have. I think I just need to do it this way, because that list only shows me like the 20 most recent ones, and we need to import like 60 of them. Yeah, that's the problem. Because then it's just adding them to this list. God. Seriously? Alright, there we go. That's more. Yay. A bunch of Unity, text mesh, and these. We do not want local copies for you. Okay. Well, 52 errors. I don't believe it for a second, but it shouldn't be too bad. This is definitely not everything. Yeah. I remember reading why Brains did it. It's in this how to convert document. Don't remember what it was though. Goodie. All right, let's leave the UI stuff for now and focus on the important bits. So, I used to have a manifest. This whole thing can probably go and collect dust in a corner. Because that's just not needed anymore, with the exception of, I'm assuming it doesn't do suggestions, cross promotions, or auto updating sorts of things, or like version checking, right? Probably. I don't need that one anymore, but I should leave it in there and mark it obsolete or something. Is that like a built-in thing? Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I've seen it before, I know what it kind of does. I just assumed that it was like an attribute that was added by some kind of different library or by RimWorld itself or whatever. I didn't know it was an actual built-in thing. But it makes sense that it is. So basically all of this needs to be obsolete as well. No, I don't. That one is actually not obsolete. Because RimWorld decided to only use like major minor versions, and I do want to have patch versions as well, or build versions. Yeah, and it will also just be a notification to myself saying like, okay, this, you shouldn't be using this. I mean, most people, most other people that rely on this will be using just the XML version, so they won't be getting any of these warnings. But still, that's just a reference to the mod we belong to. This we just decided is still going to be where did I add it? There we go. I'm kind of making a mess of this. I don't even remember what tags are supposed to do, but I think like we're not using them anywhere. And I think they were meant to be when you upload, you can give your own manual tags, but that's probably a terrible idea because then the Steam Workshop is going to be exploding with different tags. Which I alluded to is entirely possible, by the way. It's just an array of strings, so you can just upload whatever tags you want. I used to use Fluffylicious as an kind of a protest action against people using their own custom tags, because it was annoying me. And then Ramses got annoyed and kicked everybody using custom tags off the workshop, basically. Which was kind of what I wanted, so hey. Right. I'm going to quickly copy paste this. How do you call this? Dependency management has been implemented in RimWorld from 1.1 onwards. And we'll just copy paste that for all of these. Right. The fun bit is that I'm going to have to do both. Am I? I really don't want to. I don't want to have to deal with the hassle of trying to match these things. I mean, they're mostly the same, but I will now have like 3 sources of truth when it comes to identifiers. I don't want that. An identifier should be nice and neat and just one single identifier. So I think I'm just going to redo everything to make it use what is now the new way to do things. Also, I should really do this in a new branch. So yeah, I think we're just gonna rip all of this stuff out for as far as is possible. Right. Any other problems in here? Right, identifier doesn't exist anymore because that is now package ID. There we go. All right. And now we just have a bunch of this kind of stuff. I don't need to do this anymore. I need to look at what the vanilla implementation of this kind of stuff is, to be honest. So this is 1.1. Ooh, question. This is all new, isn't it? Please, please, please don't turn RimWorld into an MMO. I really don't want it to be an MMO. Anyway, I have no idea what this stuff is called. Manager dependency. Yeah, that's mine. Mod dependency. We should be able to get somewhere from here. Mod dependency is a subclass of mod requirement. Interesting. Yeah, so mod requirement is probably just... Yeah. Okay. So it's checking for versions. It's not checking for... It's checking for identifiers, I said, sorry. It's not checking for versions, is it? World of RimWorld. I would probably play it, but... Hey there, Asov. Yeah, I'm working on updating my mod manager to 1.1 because the stream viewers decided to make me do the most complicated update first. Normally I would start with some of my small mods and just quickly get them out of the way, but we're doing the system that has changed the most because they like to make me suffer, I guess. So I'm just figuring out what's actually been changed in the mod system, which is quite a lot. But annoyingly, it's still kind of a half-hearted implementation. Like, is satisfied. You override that here. So what are your subclasses again? No, not. Come on. Your derived types are dependencies and incompatibilities. What do the load order things do then? Is that just a dependency again, I guess? Yeah, sure. Both of them just look at identifiers. Something happened. Ooh, thanks for the follow, Ho app. Who app? Thank you. Very much appreciated. So yeah, the incompatibility just looks at an identifier, as does... Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't even know why this is an override, because it's just literally the same thing. So this doesn't look at versions. And okay, we have get mod with identifier that gives a metadata. Yeah, that one. So this is, if I remember correctly, basically what about.xml renders into, or like loads into. So the version should be here. Yeah. So this is, but there's now a new one, right? Because that we had supported versions, and then like no, we had target version, which is the ancient way of doing it. Then it became supported version or target versions, or and like as a list, and now it's becoming supported game versions or something. I don't understand why it's different again, to be honest, but is compatible version just checks for current major and current minor. I don't really care about that. What I cared about is that the supported game versions, it's a list system version, but no, I said supported versions, I think, or target versions, or did I just confused about that? And now to change it back. Yeah, what was ever the reason to make a new one, like target game versions or supported game versions? What, like seriously, what? Why? Oh yeah, here we go. Hey, but that has a it has a toggle, so you could turn those off. Yeah, try parse versions, and then at some point they're also complaining about it having too many target versions, I think. They care about mod containing the word Ludian, which is reserved for official content. Alright. Oh, they do have download URLs. Interesting. So what is this regex saying? This is non-capturing group? Negative look forward? This is the start of a string, so I'm not sure what that is then. You're allowing... Huh? That's not a negation, right? Ah, well, whatever. Yeah, we can take this out and look at it in like a regex tester. Yes, Erdov, I like punishing myself. Haven't you figured it out by now? No, this is what we have regex editors and testers and shit for. Right, so that's what we're doing. We're not allowed to use dots. No, we are allowed to use dots at the start. So what was that? That's a positive look ahead. Oh yeah, any character, of course. It's not escaped. All right, so this is basically just saying it must be between 1 and 60 characters. And then this is actually the matching thing. So this is a negative look ahead. It may not start with a slash or... and any other character behind it. Oh, there's an actual description for it. That would be easier. Alphanumeric characters and dot only. Yeah, that's this bit. Only one character. Exactly one time. Between one and unlimited times. Yeah, so it must... Yeah, okay. Fair. Alright. So it's basically like the reverse domain notation, right? I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. It's the Java package notation sort of thing. All right, we're getting into the compiler generated stuff here. What I'm interested in is if it's possible to do dependencies with a version requirement. Because I'm going to be really miffed if that isn't possible, and to be fair, it looks like it isn't. The about.xml has specific weird like reading logic. It's not a def. It has a different reader system, which I'm not sure what it is anymore at the moment. But I kind of want to find out. Hi there, Lisa. Yeah, that's because you're actually working on it, Erdelf, and not trying to figure things out and talking about it. All right. I guess I could see where these are instantiated from. That should give me what I'm looking for. So it's instantiated by rebuild mod list. Wait, really? It's just in the constructor? In it, oh yeah, direct XML loader. Okay, sure. Sorry. Incorrectly versioned, yeah. Formatted package ID, yeah. Validate dependencies. How many people have actually used version dependencies? Do we think that is necessary? Like, I feel like it should be included. On the other hand, I don't think many people are using it. But it's definitely a thing that you need. Like, if you have a race mod that depends on some sort of new feature that is implemented in like the humanoid alien framework in version whatever 1.12, then you want to make sure that you have at least that version of the mod, not just any version of it. I mean, there are plenty of legitimate reasons to want to have a version check on that, and plenty of good reasons not to put the version in your mod name. Yeah, it would be handy. I doubt how many people are actually using it though, and it doesn't look like this is actually a thing. We can... Damn it, Tynan. Could you, ComMD? I was just thinking about looking on GitHub to see and just manually inspecting like all of the the manifests that people use. Um, yeah, I think I'm just going to. Yeah, I guess that's not going to happen anymore because it's too big of a change. But I'm just going to ask Tyler about it and see if he can still add versions in there, if at all possible. Um, I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to implement an extra bit on this regex to say like, okay, a package ID has this regular expression, and a version just has like a little operator behind it, and then a version number that is like semantic versioning or something. That would at least allow it, and then we can work from there. Because the problem I have at the moment is, okay, these fields now exist, so I could add a version in a text field, and then I could in Mod Manager parse that or take over the parsing of that and like split up the name and the version and whatever. That would work perfectly fine, except for anybody who doesn't have Mod Manager installed. So basically it wouldn't work at all because nobody's going to add code to their mod that breaks if you don't have Mod Manager installed. So that means that you have to add the version in a different place again, which means that you have to put it in the manifest again. Yeah, not ideal. So then we just end up in the same place that we were at before. I mean, I guess I could do that and just keep both systems. Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to keep it as a package ID. The package ID is just a string with like the reverse domain notation. But you can add a little bit to that when you're doing a dependency. You can just do the package ID and then like you have this standard notation thing that I don't know what it's called, but like node version checking and so uses the same kind of notation that Factorio does. So I'm pretty sure it's a standard system with different operators to determine like different dependency methods. Like, do we want this version and up, or do we want this specific like main level version? Anyway, it's all semantic versioning. That's all been figured out. It shouldn't be too difficult to put that in there, theoretically. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm referring to. I think what I'll do for now is keep both. I can subclass the mod dependency thing, mod requirement, to add. I mean, this is fair enough. I can just create a new subclass of it to add a more strict version check, and then work from there. That should be fine. It would be nice if it was implemented in vanilla so that I could dump it from the manifest. But for now, we can just keep it in the manifest, and if necessary, then people can use that. That will work. Okay. So where does it determine like any errors? So like what uses? So we have mod metadata unsatisfied dependencies. What else is in this mod metadata thing? Because this is the thing for one mod. We have unset preview image. Ah, yeah, called mod config get mod warnings. Yeah, I'm going to request it, but from what I understand, it's not going to be very long until 1.1 is actually released. Um, so I'm not sure they're going to do this. It's probably too big of a change, but um, yeah, I'm just gonna do that now. I'm just gonna put it on privacy mode for a second. All right, and we're back. Yeah, I don't think it's used very often, but I it's just incomplete without it. Like it's a good start, but if you want to have a proper dependency management system, you need to think about versions. I mean, this is the whole reason what is wrong with the workshop from my perspective. I mean, it works great as a mass delivery system, but it has no versions. So whenever something updates, it automatically updates for you. You can't go back to a previous version. And it's just that makes it crap. That makes it basically unusable. It's just that everybody uses it, so you have to. But ugh. How does it check which version is the most recent? Does it check Steam? Nessos, what are you talking about? You talking about my mod manager or the games version now? Because I don't think the game checks at all. My mod, it basically it assumes that you have your source code online, so that you have another version of the manifest online. And in the manifest, you can actually add a line for, yeah, the manifest URL. So you can just add a location where your manifest would be located. And then it just checks the version in that online version. So that's why I also have the version here, and that's why I have like the full build number in there. And this is the new proper way to get static content from GitHub. And this is a download link, which is just a generic link to releases forum. This is not my idea, by the way. This is the same way that like the previous version checkers and stuff did it. Okay, that's annoying. I have no idea how we can fix that, Erdolf. Maybe if you refresh the stream or something? I really hope that's on your side, to be honest. I should not do that. Oops. All right. So I guess we're leaving. Removing this obsolescence because these we really want to have available with versions, specific versions. The identifier is still obsolete because we're going to use package IDs, and this is going to be obsolete because here we really don't care about versions. So it seems the audio sync is on your end. Good. Glad to hear. All right. Oh gosh. You know, the problem with this is that normally when you update things, you just have to look at the errors and fix the errors. But now I actually have to look at all of the logic and change it. Luckily though, I can rip out a bunch of stuff that I had before. Because there's now vanilla code for these mod warnings things, which is basically the same stuff that I had. It's just that I actually had automatic ways to fix it, which I don't think vanilla has. Wait, what? Interesting. Recache royalty active. Royalty mod package ID. What is the royalty mod package ID? Lydian RimWorld royalty. Well, we didn't know what the name was by now, we certainly would have. Hi there, Emmy Lasery. Looks like it, yeah. So what happens if I fuck stuff up here? Does it tell me that this is wrong? No, it doesn't even know that core should be on top. Or is it because I made it into an official mod? Nope, it doesn't know that core should be on top. Interesting. What does it know? Yeah, goodie. Yeah, VS Code is completely taken over all of my other text editors. I don't even know why text files are still opening with Notepad by default. There's a bunch of speculations about the DLC on the RimWorld Discord. I cannot really speculate about it because I actually know a little bit more about it, so I don't want to talk too much about it. So I can talk about some things but not other things, and I don't want to speculate too much about it. Just being said that there is a depot on Steam which has seen a lot of activity recently, and there are many references to royalty and other bits of new code, quest systems, other things that are added to the source code, but not in the patch notes. So all of which suggests that there is a DLC coming. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out with mods and DLC, and like, will mods require parts of DLC and stuff like that. I'm guessing that the code for the DLC will be in the base game, so it's just going to be the content, hopefully, but we'll have to find out. I wanted to look at the mod file structure because yeah, about sound devs. No, I want the okay, so he wants us to put the source in the actual mod. I'm not gonna do that, but sure. Yeah, bloody blah, load folders, XML. Yeah, that's so pointless as far as I'm concerned, but whatever. There we go, mod metadata. This is already... Okay, so this is already a mod dependency, is not just one. I thought it was just one ID, but it also has like other fields for the mod name and download location or Steam Workshop URL. Why this is not just this bit, I don't understand, but okay. Interesting. So it would be trivial to add a version there. The invitation weren't turned into the entire chat. The member of the Ludian staff contradicted some of the information in that file. Some things will be changing. Any specifics on that, Kong? Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of bugs, emulator. That's kind of the point. I mean, it is still in an unstable beta, so this is really just the playtesting phase of things. You just find out all of the weird things that you wouldn't be able to playtest with a small team or programmatically, like unit test or something. Okay. So they already have a bigger system. And the download URLs that I thought were going to be for the mod itself are actually apparently not. What I wanted to see though is, can I break this? I'm pretty sure I can. So I'm just going to screw up. I still like that it can just put a mod in data and then it becomes an expansion. It's a lazy stuff. Yeah, okay. Will be gone and the 1.0 folder won't work and version 1.0 will change. Does that mean that if you... I don't even want to... No, not going there. Alright, let's just add... Did I not copy you? There we go. So we've added some dependencies to my work tab. And let's just see what... No, for fuck's sake. Let's just see what happens. You know, one of my pet peeves with Windows 10 is you can pin things to the start bar, which is amazing. And you can click them to start it, and I often right-click it for some reason, I don't know, and then choose from the drop-down menu. But if you accidentally select unpin there, you cannot pin it back. So then you have to wait for it to start again and like do it from a different version, and then you can pin it again. Annoying. Anyway, so you should now complain. You do complain. All right. Okay, so it does have some... The heck is this? Is this supposed to be some kind of Easter egg, or is this just random? All right. It was just random. Fair enough. Okay. Um, I think I can work with this. Um, I'm curious where like the resolvers come from. From all the code I've seen, it's just checking for errors. There's no there was no direct way there to like fix the problems. Because if in my work tab you could click on an error and then you could like immediately download and stuff. And apparently there's something half-assed also implemented here, but not quite to the same level. I do wonder where this comes from though. So this is the mod config screen or something. Oh, that will be page mod config, I guess. Or mods config. Let's just do page mod. Yeah, there we go. So they'll be drawing it somewhere in here. Do window content. Oh, here. Do requirements section. Unmet requirements, outline. Widgets label. But it's not like this has an action. Okay, so draw requirement entry has a label but invisible entry on clicked. Oh, that's in the mod requirement. Nice. Right. So you can depend on any workshop item like any. Yes. Yes, you can. Yeah, you could always do that. But you can now just add arbitrary links to pages where you can download it. That can either be workshop or a different page. I don't really understand why the difference, because as far as I can see, they both just open a link. Like, or did I click a different one? I guess this is nothing, right? No, it doesn't exist. Aww. I need to register that domain now. No. No, but that's the least of your problems, Kafs. To be fair, like, hardly anybody in the RimWorld community cares or seems to care about the fact that mods can just run and execute arbitrary code in your game. Like, anytime you install a mod and then you start the game, we can run code. We can do whatever the fuck we want because you're running your game with your user privileges. So we can like upload all of your user folder. We can do so many crazy stuff, and nobody seems to give a shit. In the I remember City Skylines was, I think, the first game to like explicitly allow this kind of thing, have like arbitrary code in mods, which is amazing. It's another reason why there are so many good mods for both of these games. But there was actually a small community at the beginning that was actually checking like the source code of popular mods. But I don't think anybody's ever done that for RimWorld. Like, I don't even do it. It's just, yeah, it's too much. Do you? Do you actually find the source code and look at if it's not doing anything it shouldn't be doing? Because I could, if I wanted to, I could just upload the contents of your user folders, like your documents folders in the background. Yeah. Yeah, that was a thing too. There was something about the RimJob world, wasn't it? It's like if you had RimJob world loaded together with some sort of children mod, then the author had strong feelings about that, which is fair enough. But yeah. I don't remember exactly. It was a thing a while back. Maybe Adolf remembers, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was about the children and pregnancy or something, or one of the children was and RimWorld world together. I think I don't remember exactly. So what about the Steam itself? You mean your Steam account? Yeah, that's mine. When you play the game, I have access to your Steam. I can subscribe and unsubscribe you from any mods I want. Can probably make you post things. We have the Steam API. You run it through D and Spy. Some of it adds suggested mods from the same author, for instance. The tracking IDs of strange service ones to remove it and run another copy. Yeah, that's brains. Yep. Chaotic Tabriz, thank you for the follow. Yeah, we had a massive discussion. I keep opening this. I shouldn't be opening that. We had a massive discussion with Brains about that as well, where we tried to convince him that you really shouldn't be collecting telemetry like that. But yeah, he decided to do it anyway. It hasn't blown up in his face yet, which I'm still amazed about. All right, so it looks we can make some of our own mod requirement classes, do some fancy stuff with that. How are orders implemented? Load orders. So core is ludian.rimworld. It would be nice if we could copy paste that. I think I'll have to make that a thing. Ludian.rimworlds. Ludian.rimworlds. Did he? Alright. I must not have noticed that. That's good though. I was really kind of both annoyed and amazed that, like, with the position he has, that he would do that kind of thing without asking. Alright. Thanks for joining us, Emilazity. Have a nice day. Hopefully we'll actually get to do some modding. I'm still trying to figure out how this thing works. The mod is loading in the wrong order relative to another mod. Use the auto sort button or reorder the mods manually. Well, that works. That's something. But I don't understand why this isn't a thing on its own and just move it. Move it, move it. Right. I'm going to make a checklist for myself. This isn't going to be a one-day project, so I need to have a to-do list. First on it is we need to start adding some fallbacks for the stuff that I've currently got in my manifest. I've got all of these accessors. And this kind of data. Like all of these things that are now deprecated or obsolete should be linking back to the main version first. And only if that doesn't exist, get it from the manifest file. Except for these two, because we want to enable versions in that. 1 second, my dog is being an asshole. Iemand. Goed zo. Dat is niet oké. Zo gaan we niet met de kittens om. Oh, hey, Ada. Alright, Ada doesn't want to be on camera. My dog decided that he didn't like the kittens anymore and was going after them. Which is silly, because our kittens are beautiful and cute and camera shy, apparently.
You want to eat the poop.
Yeah. Our dog likes kitten poop, because he thinks it's candy. So he actually waits around the cat litter until the kittens go to poop, and then he just stands behind them and sniffs their asses and tries to eat it as soon as it comes out, which is disgusting, and we're trying to stop him, but I think it's a lost cause. Anyway, this took a weird turn. Yeah, yuck indeed. Yuck indeed. But it's, that's dogs for you. Are you implying they are not candy? Well, first of all, welcome to the stream. Yes, I personally would not call them candy, although we do call them candy, to be fair, in our household, because we have a dog that thinks they are candy. But yeah. Alright, I've changed my mind. We're going to make it boot up first, and then we'll start fixing errors. So let's just see what happens if we try to build it. Guinea pig poops are magic beans. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm just going to not care about obsolescence for now. Code or namespace, code instruction could not be found. Yes, that's because we're now using Harmony lib. Ta-da! That's 4 errors fixed already. Adolf, has this changed? I don't know what parts of the Harmony API have changed. This is probably not going to work anymore, but we'll find out soon enough. Ooh. Yeah, I knew that one. But for actually doing a transpiler and a patch and stuff, this isn't actually even using Harmony. Oh yeah, no, you're not. All the same. Good. I like that. And this is going to complain about identifiers. Yeah. That's going to be the package ID. Sure. Because clearly it matters. What have you become? Yeah, so official mods folder is the expansion folder, and mods folder is now the local folder. Sure, fair enough. Oh, we do have harmony in here. Yeah, sure. More harmony. All right. Yeah, this was always so weird. So we now have to turn this around because debug is now actually on the instance of it. So this is now a new instance of the harmony class. Yeah. And I want it to be in debug mode only if I'm compiling in debug mode. Oh, this is still static. Okay, sure. Harmony lib. Can I not like replace this everywhere? That would be nice. But that would be too easy, I guess, wouldn't it? Refactor is out of the question. I guess I could do a search and replace. Harmony lib. Replace everything. Yeah, don't need undo for this. There's only 5 of them left, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, all of this stuff is fairly easy to fix as well. I mean, this is what it often burns down to, is just that there's some name changes and then minor changes and you just need to fix everything. And then when you're unlucky, Tynan's actually changed the entire underlying system that you're working with, which is kind of the case here. I'm not sure what I'm changing here, to be honest. Okay, I probably didn't have any idea what I was doing while I was coding this. Let's just fix those errors and see what happens. I'm pretty sure this is... No, yeah, it should be working. Ooh, my stuff here. It doesn't exist anymore? Alright, that's a shame. Is there a different sound default now? This is annoying me. Let's see if it's been moved somewhere. Nope, it just doesn't exist anymore. Oh. Oh. Alright. What have we got? That looks like it. Dig tiny? Alright. You're quick about that. We'll use that one. Either way, it will be good enough for now. And you need a capital M. I have to patch it in Huxlib earlier though. Are you unlimited Hux? Or are you just working on the Huxlib? Seem to be working. You seem to be working already. Ah, right. Okay. Make sure you like put it in a pull request or something. I know he's kind of busy, so he'd probably appreciate. Yeah, he's around. Like he's keeping his stuff up to date. But I think he's got lots of real life stuff going on, as do we all. So this is just supported game versions. There we go. Yeah, Huxlib also wraps harmony somehow, doesn't it? I've never really used that. I've never really seen the point of it. But yeah, I can see how that would make it slightly more complicated to update. Alright, we seem to be done or almost done with the mod manager stuff. And now we've gone to the fluffy UI stuff, but I think this is really all just missing references. Wow, that was all of it. Just that one. Awesome. So either that is the Unity engine reference is still a reference to everything, or everything just happened to be core Unity. Which is entirely possible because rects and vector 2s and stuff are really basic structs in Unity. String and tagged string implicitly convert to one another. Yeah, fair enough. So loaded game version is going to return a static string? No, that's just a string. Translate is a tagged string. So what do I do about this? Can I like tell you to go to string? Sure, that'll do. Yeah, we need to fix this anyway because it was kind of buggy, and we've got async await stuff now, which is going to make everything much better and nicer. And probably Unity web request is also much nicer than the old www interface. Oh, that's good to know, FX Wolf. That's probably the majority of what I'll ever be using. But copying all the other stuff shouldn't actually hurt. Right, let's see what happens when we build this shit. Whee! More errors. This is wait, what? Core mods folder path. Mods folder path. I guess. I hope. These are package IDs now. Yeah, tagged string is for the translations, and yeah, it is kind of weird, and the compiler complains about it a lot sometimes. It just allows you to have named arguments in translation strings. That's it. That's all it is. Which is nice from a translator perspective. I don't use it. I don't see the point of it, to be honest. There's not enough. Like, I don't have translations with 10 different versions or something, so I don't need name strings for that. I'll just feed them in order. But yeah, I can see the use case for it. Because you should also then be able to feed them like objects or structs or something, maybe? I don't know. I mean, that's what the advantage of something like that would be in like a JavaScript-like language. So you have the named fields, so then you can just feed it an object which has those values, and then that will just magically work. But I'm not sure if that would work at all in C#. It might, with like you now have dynamic tuples and things like that, which are really nice, by the way. But yeah, don't know. Okay, those have also gone away. And we don't have those anymore either. What fun things can we do in .NET 4.7.2 that weren't possible in 3.5? Right. So there are a lot of features in. So basically, we are still in .NET 3, technically speaking, but .NET or C# 4 and 6 mostly had syntactical sugar things. So things like expression-bodied functions. So you can do public int random number returns 4. This is perfectly valid. This is technically not possible in until C# 6, I think, but the compiler just compiles it down because this is a syntactic sugar. And there's a lot more of these kind of things. Null propagation is one of them. So this amazing thing where you can check if a member is null before accessing like delta. So if current is null here now, this would just return null as a whole and not a null reference error because we're trying to get delta from something that doesn't exist. Yeah. So those are things. Those kind of things are just syntactic sugar. What we got for real is in C# 4 we get async await, which is a nicer way to deal with asynchronous tasks. And or that's .NET 5, I think, or C# 5. And then in 7 we got, I think we got the value tuples and stuff like there. So I haven't used this myself, so I'm not sure how this works exactly, but we should be able to define tuples on the fly, which is going to look something like, I have no idea. I'm just using like TypeScript syntax now, hoping that that will work. Ha! It works. So what we've done here is basically create a dynamic struct kind of thing. So this creates a struct on the fly that we can actually use to access these. Yeah, that's the destructuring thing, I think, FX Wolf. Isn't it? But yeah, but like we had tuples before, but you had to like access them with value 1 and value 2 or whatever, which is really disgraceful. So I actually ended up often making my own little structs, which were really throwaway little structs that just had a couple of fields in it. But now you can just create them when you need them, and yeah, it's just nice. And there's a bunch of other stuff as well. If you want to look it up, you can just look at what like the language features are for C#, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Because that's all of the new stuff. And a lot of it you'll probably recognize as having using it already. I don't suppose anybody happens to know what the amount, increment, and decrement sounds were changed to, or if they still exist somewhere else. Nope. There's probably going to be an increment somewhere, yeah. That's not particularly useful. Increment time, increment by, increment count. Yeah, it doesn't look like this is anything. Alright. This is not actually all that important, so is there some kind of tick? I guess we can do tick high, tick low. Up, down, up, down. Might that work? Possibly. We'll call this tick high. A one-shot camera. And this one tick low. That seems like it might actually be somewhat plausible. Yeah, this kind of stuff. Translated, formatted string extensions. Just no, go away. I just want to use strings. Is it working? It's building. It's taking its sweet time. A bunch of obsolescence, most of which I've given myself. Values assigned but never read, sure, whatevs. But it actually seems to have worked. Let's see if it will load. To be fair, I might as well spend time on my out of game mod list if that was actually working, but apparently not. Oh, there we go. Just took a while. No, wait, that's the wrong one. It's still not working. Yeah, I'm guessing something here got changed as well. That's a nuisance. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Stop that! Why are you doing that? You're not on full screen. Stop trying to be full screen. Nope. It isn't. Should probably turn work tab off. I don't expect this to work. For one thing, I'm using a transpiler to change Why are we getting all of these errors now when we weren't before? Am I forcing the game to read all of these mods? Apparently I am. Anyway, I'm not expecting this to... Now it's even forgotten my window size. It's even better. Oh, but apparently the transpiler still kind of works? Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Slow. Okay. I made a really good transpiler. And somehow this icon has disappeared. To be fair, I also have terrible icons, especially the Steam icon is bad. I shouldn't blame Thailand for having bad icons when I myself don't have them any better. I mean, this does look better though, right? You have a problem. This is cleaner. This is much cleaner. And then you have options there. Just better. All right. Okay, I'm surprised this worked at all, and seems to not be giving any errors. I'm really. I guess I was using the vanilla icon, and that changed, and therefore now, yeah, that makes sense. All right. Okay, I'm going to quit the stream here because this was kind of an unscheduled stream, and I actually got further than I expected to. I think I will push this on like a pre-release branch 1.1 on GitHub if anybody wants to try it out and play with it or whatever. Be my guest. But yeah, I need to change a lot of stuff. I need to hook it up to the new like the dependency system and everything like that. There's a couple of fixes that I might implement while I'm at it, and yeah, so this is going to take a while. Not sure if I'll be streaming tomorrow. Normally I would be streaming on Tuesday, but I've already been streaming tonight, so I kind of have to see how that works out in the schedule. I probably will be modding a little bit at least, because well, I need to get those updates out, and apparently we only have a week, so. Alright, it's been fun. Thank you guys very much for watching, subscribing, and yeah, just hanging out. I always enjoy chatting to you guys. So see you guys later this week, at least. Have a good night. Bye bye. And I still haven't set up a hotkey for this, so you can watch me stop the stream.